Hello, beautiful human. I am Zach. That is Dan. And today we welcome to the studio an R&B soulstress who's here to talk about her latest EP. It is called When. Say hello to Alex Isley.
Yo.
Hello.
Welcome, 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 welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Genuinely excited to have you here. I want to talk about your latest EP, When. I do want to talk about your career. It stretches over a decade, but I do want to start at the very beginning. You were raised... What's your first memory of music?
Ooh, probably just music throughout the house. A lot of Anita Baker, a lot of Mariah Carey, that first album especially.
Okay.
Yeah, so just soaking up all the sounds at home.
And now, are we just playing records? Are we talking about live performances? Because you grew up in a very unique household.
Yeah, I think it all started with just records around the house and in the car. That's where I feel like I got a lot of my music education early on. And then, of course, watching my dad and my uncles on stage, that was very much the norm growing up.
We got to get into it. Like, were
Yeah.
you kept away from that, like the Hollywood lifestyle when you were younger? Or was it like, were there parties in your house? Or are you just, are they performing at these parties? Are you just catching them on stage? Like, I want to understand, like, what was like a normal Friday or Saturday for you growing up?
Honestly, there weren't too many parties at home. I think any kind of party scene, I don't remember too much of those. I think I just remember more than anything them being on stage and the occasional studio session, which honestly, I wish I would have been a little more attentive to those because I was little. I was in the other room with a coloring book and the TV. But so a lot of what I saw was on stage more than anything.
Now, you mentioned that the fact that your dad is, and your uncle, Isley brothers, but your grandma was a classically trained opera singer.
Yes.
And that is where, like, the training for you genuinely begins, correct?
Yeah, she started training me once she kind of retired from singing. She became a vocal teacher, and so she had like 2 or 3 other students. And then she started training me when I was 12. But it was, very, very simple stuff. And then once I got into high school, we went a little more in depth with my voice and my technique. And she trained me all the way up until I graduated from college.
Oh, wow. What did your grandma teach you that you still carry with you in your career today?
Ooh, there's so much that goes into singing, and everything that you do affects your voice, how much sleep you get, dairy intake, acid, like all of smoking, of course, obviously. But so I think what I carry with me the most is just the importance of warming up my vocals. And I think getting more into just the daily warming up and practicing, scales and all the warm-ups I used to do with her because she passed in 2010. But so, yeah, just carrying the importance of keeping my technique intact so that I don't develop any bad habits or lose what I have.
Interesting. Like, the whole thing is wild because it is this generational thing here. That, like, your grandma can sing, and then obviously she births your dad and your uncle.
Well, so that's the...
Or is that another side of the family?
So that's my maternal grandmother.
Wait.
Yeah.
Explain this to me.
So the opera singer is my maternal grandmother, my mom's mom. And so there was music on both sides.
Whoa.
But I think more so on my dad's side, I think everything was rooted in, started with the church and then R&B. And then I think on my mom's side, that classical training that my grandmother had. And then
Interesting.
My maternal grandfather was like a jazz aficionado. He was a dentist for like 50 years because his parents made him do something practical, but he was passionate about jazz. His first patient as a dentist was Billie Holiday. So I think it was just inevitable for music to be, just the blueprint on both sides of the family.
Like, what are the chances of that?
I know.
Because, like, I'm like doing research on you, and I was genuinely thinking like it was all just concentrated to the one side, but the reality is, no, it's everywhere.
Both sides, yeah.
Did your mom do anything in music?
She worked in music licensing for like 20 years.
That's cool.
Yeah. So anything, it's such a great portion of what I know about the business side of the business I learned from her.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm grateful. It's just on all sides.
Can your mom sing?
I don't know if she takes it seriously, but she does. I think she has a beautiful voice. I think it's more so like operatic, like, her mom, my grandmother. But yeah, she sings, it's a lot of singing in the car happening.
Interesting.
Your mom is featured on the album or the EP, isn't she?
She is, yeah. So she's featured talking, dropping some gems. I was just picking her brain one day about love and life and my future when it comes to that. And she just, I caught her in the moment. I was recording. I didn't tell her in the moment, but I told her before. So I was like, I'm going to record you at some point, us having a conversation one day. She was like, okay. But so when she and I were talking that particular day, she said something and I was like, press record. So I did. And I just, I didn't tell her. I just let us have the conversation in the moment. So I'm glad I captured that.
Did you build Fool's Gold around that conversation with your mom, or was the song done and you're like, this is perfect for the ending?
The song was, yeah. And so the song was done. And then I think once she said that, I was like, this is the way to end the song. So yeah. That song, based on a true story, like a lot of my writing is. And just the realization of certain situations not panning out how I would like them to.
Mm-hmm. All been there.
Yeah.
Very real.
Very real.
Very real. By the way, what do you learn from that moment where you just like get at your phone and start recording your mom? Anything that you take away? Like, also, like, why? What were you sensing from that conversation with her that was like, this is important?
I think because, again, just thinking about my future and what I want to see out of it, I know what I want. And I think just keeping my hope and my faith alive in love, I think is the biggest thing for me. Because, around me, things don't look how I would like them to at the moment. And I think she was just coming from a place of whatever it is that you want. It starts with loving yourself and remembering what you are worthy of, remembering that you are worthy of nothing but the best. And remembering, like she said, remembering your beauty, remembering your value, and coming from a place of is this person, is this situation what I want? Because you're thinking about, like, am I what this person wants? But also think about you, like, is this person what I want? So, yeah, it was important for me to hear that.
So real.
Yeah.
Because in that, like, there's 1,000 reasons why you would stay in something like that, even if the person isn't what you want.
Yeah, I think, settling and timing and as far as life and, yeah, there's a million different reasons why you could stay in something.
Yeah. I mean, just like the act of letting go sometimes is harder than staying up in it, even if it's toxic as shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, at least for me, I think I've held on to certain things just out of hope of something turning around, or, I am very big on the benefit of the doubt with people, and it's come back to bite me.
I'm with you. I will give somebody benefit of the doubt many, many times over. But once it's over and I've like all my shits are out, we're done.
Yeah.
I'll keep receipts of everything you've done wrong and I will never talk to you again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to let go of that, but it's necessary for your peace, for your sanity. Like, yeah.
By the way, great EP. Why? And this is an EP leading into an album, correct?
Yes.
So you had all the songs done and then decided that you were going to break it into 2 parts, or what's the strategy behind that?
Still in the thick of figuring out how I would like things to end, how I would like the end of the album to sound. But I think this whole album, or the EP, I think is an introduction into me stepping out of my norm and my comfort zone, what I'm comfortable with.
What are you traditionally comfortable with?
I'm comfortable with subtlety and just finding nice, colorful ways to say different things, talk about my feelings. I think with When, I'm a lot more direct. And even then, I think there's still room for me to be more direct and not so nice with my words. But I think When is the introduction or the start of me figuring out how to just be more clear and to the point with how I feel, and just reflecting on certain things.
What was holding you back from that before?
I don't know. I think it might be just time and just how I've grown into myself as a woman. And I think now, more so with me being a mom, I've just learned the importance of being intentional especially with my time and my energy and how I express myself, being as present as I can be. And, you know, of course, easier said than done. But so, yeah, I think the music on this EP is a testament to all of that, like me really stepping into that.
You're classically trained, right?
Yeah.
How much of that needs to be unlearned to do the music like this? Or is it all coming through in what you do?
I think it all comes through. I think, you know, certain points, at certain points through my performance, there's a little bit of technique in everything that I do. So I think with anything that you're doing artistically, I think, you know, there's a degree of technicality to it. And so you learn the technique, the theory, whatever that is, to a certain point. And then at a certain point, you got to tuck it away and let the soul part speak for itself. Let the soul shine through whatever it is you're doing.
That's interesting. It's kind of the combination of the two, right?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, not half technique, but maybe, you know, percentages of technique here and there, and then the soul and the heart of it, you know.
It's fascinating. Like, there is this idea of, like, if you master, like, you can figure out the technique to a point where you don't even think about it, so then all you can do is feel, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's happening and you don't even know it.
Yeah. So I think I spent a lot of that developing my technique in high school. And high school was when I discovered jazz and how much I love jazz. And it's become such a huge part of what I do. You know, R&B is my foundation, but I think a lot of what I learned in high school, the technique and discovering jazz and finding what I like in that genre and adding to my foundation has really played a huge part in who I am as an artist.
How do you find jazz? And, like, and I go, how do you find jazz? Because you can find jazz at many different points in one's life at this point in time.
Yeah.
And that may also determine what artists you end up finding. Because the new age jazz is fucking incredible.
Yeah, there's so many different branches within jazz itself. I mean, so many directions. But so I think in high school for me, I'd heard a song called Lush Life by Billy Strayhorn, and I just heard all these different voices blending, and I was like, whatever that is, I want to sing that. And that was the beginning of that. But then I fell in love with Ella Fitzgerald and then instrumentalists like John Coltrane. And then in college, I got more into the vocalists that you may not know, like Lambert's Hendricks and Ross and Betty Carter, Carmen McRae. And it's just a whole world of music and vocals out there that I had only started to tap into like in college.
What was bringing you to that genre, and then what really motivated you to want to make it?
I think the where I was in life, I was just dealing with fresh heartbreak, and I think the lyrics of what I was hearing, that's what pulled me in. The heartache and the soul of these ballads and these standards, that's what roped me in, because I felt like that music at the time, that was what best described how I felt.
By the way, nominated for 2 Grammys for your work with Robert Glasper, and all jazz stuff, right? Back to Love?
Yeah.
Hey, can you, like, explain to our audience who he is?
Robert Glasper is, I mean, he's one of one. If you're talking about musicians, I mean, jazz or not, one of the greatest musicians there is, and he's had already such an illustrious career, and he's still, you know, a younger dude, but he I mean, he's amazing, and just as a person, and as a musician, he was for a long time a musician on my bucket list that I just had dreamed of working with for years, and then I finally had been connected to him through Terrace Martin, who's another legendary musician from the West Coast, and Robert and I developed a relationship and had done a few songs together and had performed here and there together. And he's become like a big brother figure. And then for my first 2 nominations to be aside him, I mean, yeah, it's a dream.
Do you go to him and go, like, can we create something together? Does it organically just happen?
Organically, I think in the instances there have been so far, he's sent something to me and was like, this is the premise of it. And then he just kind of lets me take it from there.
What does that mean? Vocally?
Vocally, yeah. So I'm big on harmonies. And so he just kind of gives me free reign to add harmonies and backgrounds and things as I see fit.
It's very cool.
It's a lot of trust there. And so I'm grateful for that.
Does jazz make its way onto the CP at all?
I think so. You know, in my mind, I think when it comes to the lyrics and the content, I think I would like to think that I'm encompassing everything that I've been influenced by, R&B wise and jazz wise. When I think about the different singers and storytellers like Ella Fitzgerald, like Sarah Vaughan, I would like to think that there's bits and pieces of them in the moments where I might give the music space to breathe, and I might just be ad-libbing or giving the music itself space to breathe, and I'm not saying anything at all. I think those can be elements that I picked up from jazz for sure.
Kaytranada, you collaborate with him.
Yeah.
One of the greatest DJs, producers to ever walk this earth, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, super cool, man. He's, one of my favorite producers since the SoundCloud days. Like, I've loved him.
You know, I hung out with him all day at a pool party once, and I had no idea he was Kaytranada. I swear to Christ.
Humble guy.
No, and at the end of the day, like, they're like, "Oh, Zach, like, you don't know him? That's fucking Kaytranada." Holy shit. It was crazy.
Amazing.
By the way, Mic On is a big stylistic shift in what you're doing, correct?
Yes, I think it's one of, if not the fastest tempo song I have.
By far.
So far, yeah.
How does that process really begin?
So it all started with just a message that reached out to him and was like, would love to do something.
Like a DM?
Yeah, and he was like, absolutely. And that was the beginning of it. We set up the session, and he was like, well, I could play some stuff for you, or I can make something here in the moment from scratch. And so I was like, I'm not sure if I heard anything that he already had. I was like, yeah, let's do something from scratch. We have the time. And so I was
looks at the watch.
Yeah.
Like, we have time. Like,
no, yeah, so just took advantage of the moment, and I was, sitting behind him on the couch, and he's at his setup, and I think an hour went by, and then he's putting stuff together. He turns around. I'm listening this whole time. He turns around after an hour, and he's like, yo, you like this? I was like, yeah. He was like, okay, cool. He turns around, turns back around, keeps going at it, and I'm writing, and by the time he finished, I kind of finished up my part and went into record and kept those vocals. It came together so just organically and quickly.
he's amazing.
Yeah, amazing. One of my favorites.
What do you learn from that session?
I think just being reminded of gratitude. And I think it just all comes back to gratitude for me, to just be in the space, to be able to create alongside amazing people like that. Because for years I prayed to be in spaces like that. For years, for the first few projects I put out, I wrote and produced and engineered everything myself, because that was the only option I had if I wanted people to hear stuff. So I think to be in the space now to collaborate with so many people that I admire and I love, I'm just grateful.
In that moment, you do realize the power of collaboration, because like there's
Yeah.
something happening in that room that no matter what you do in your life, you could never be that other person's brain.
Right. Yeah. And that sense of community is important too. The
yeah.
camaraderie, the support for each other. We need that, especially in this industry it's always evolving. And yeah, we just need to continue to support and uplift each other in that way.
It should allow for vulnerability. Can you explain how Prince and Travis Smiley ended up inspiring the lyrics to that record?
Okay, so Prince was on the Tavis Smiley show years ago.
Tavis.
And I don't know who Prince was throwing shade to at the time, but he was talking about, when I go on the stage, my mic is always on, and he looks at the camera as if to like single somebody out. I don't know who, but that particular interview, that meme, that picture where he's like, my mic is always on, that was the inspo for this.
That's amazing.
He's wearing that purple turtleneck,
Yeah.
wide-eyed at the
I
camera.
know.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
yeah.
a good meme.
Also, Tavis Smiley is one of the greatest fucking interviewers to walk this earth.
He really is. Yeah.
Really great. Also, you know who I like? Ricky Smiley, too.
Yeah.
He's a radio guy.
Yeah.
Well, what about the production of Mike On also inspired those lyrics? Because you are kind of like, you're talking about yourself. You're talking your shit on that song.
Yeah. I always come from a place of humility, but I was like, figuring out a way to humbly but like firmly, talk my shit. So, I think the tempo and the feel of it just inspired the mood of it, and I started with where I'm from, Batty from West Adams, Arlington Ave. I'm grew up off Adams and Arlington, and so just starting with where I come from and who I am, and just being proud of that.
Literally over here. Like, you're in this neighborhood.
Yeah, I grew up
Yeah,
10 minutes away from here.
literally.
Yeah,
Wow. Holy shit.
I also
Yeah.
love you said pitch perfect. Literally, you ain't checked the bloodline. Grateful for it all.
yeah.
I love it. You're just dropping it all in there.
Thank you. Yeah, it's weird. I didn't find out I had perfect pitch until high school. I didn't know what that was, but yeah.
Who tells you?
So I was taking it was a theory class. I went to an arts high school, and after theory class, the teacher was like, "Wait, stay back. I want to see something." And so he sits at the piano. He's like, "Okay, what's this note? What's this note?" And he's just plucking out different notes, and then he reverses it, and he's like, "Okay, sing a B flat, sing a whatever, sing a F, sing a C minor scale." And then he was like, "You have perfect pitch." I said, "Okay, what is that? What does that mean?" I didn't know. I didn't know what that
crazy.
meant, but I learned about it freshman year.
Can we talk about Miss Goody Two Shoes?
Yeah. So
It's very much about you not necessarily being a goody two shoes, right? It's anything but a goody two shoes. So, what were you doing when you were a teenager? How were you rebelling?
when I was a teenager, I mean, honestly, like, I really did stay out of trouble growing up. I had a smart mouth though, so that's what got me in trouble. Like, I never was in a fight with anybody, or like I wasn't a class clown or anything like that. But I had an attitude that if I had to turn it on, I did.
It's there.
I feel like the song Miss Goody Two Shoes is more of like me singing to one particular person that I might be, romantically involved with. Like, you're going to get this other side of me, but the rest of the world doesn't know that. The rest of the world, I'm Miss Goody Two Shoes. I'm innocent.
See, my interpretation totally different. That's why art's amazing. You have a daughter.
I do.
Does that change the way you make music, or does that seep
yeah.
its way into your creative identity?
Oh yeah. Again, just being intentional with my time and my energy, just in life, but especially with how I create. And I think too, since the pandemic, like not forcing myself to be productive. When we were, all quarantined, just taking advantage of like rest, because we don't know what's going on, and that's okay. Just rest and take care of yourself. And so, that's the whole premise of motherhood. And motherhood it's sacrificial to a degree, of course, but I think the biggest thing about parenthood really is making sure that you're good, taking care of yourself as best as you can, so that your children are good.
Yeah, so you could be there for them.
Yeah. So I've really learned the importance of self-care too, and just my well-being. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because that's the right way to look at it, right? Like, you being taken care of and being healthy means you could be a better mom.
Right. Yeah.
Really does start with you.
Yeah.
There's a spoken word section of Fool's Gold. It's talking about like knowing your worth.
It's about with your mom?
That is
Yeah,
your mom.
it's my mom.
We did talk about it, but
Yeah.
are you looking for a record like that to be a reminder to you when you listen to it or perform it?
Absolutely. And every time I hear it, every time I listen back to the song, I get choked up. And I was somewhere a few months ago and was playing the song for a group of people. And as the song is playing down, I'm like, I can feel tears welling up. And I'm like, do not cry in front of these people. Please hold it together. And my mom's voice comes on and I lost it. I was like, I'm sorry, y'all. And what was crazy was there was a group of girls within that group and they were on their computers and I was like, I don't know, I wonder if they're really listening. I don't know. And then they told me at the end, like, no, girl, we had to clack on our computers to keep from crying. Like if we stopped to really process it, we would have lost it.
So when you hear a song like that or you're making a song, what do you see? What colors do you see? Because you do have synesthesia.
Yes. So I think because every song is different, every key chord. But I think for Fool's Gold in particular, I would say like a dark, almost like forest green.
Interesting.
Yeah. Every song, every like foundation, every key, or every song in its key is different. And it makes all the sense in my head. So yeah, Fool's Gold is like a forest green. Mic On is almost like this, whatever this fuchsia purple color is in the back.
Yeah.
So
How do you remember the moment you realized you had synesthesia?
I think once I learned that it was a condition and learning what it was, I could remember being little and hearing songs and seeing colors in my head and being like, oh, okay, that's why I would call anything that was in C major, I would call a yellow song because C major means yellow for me. So once I learned like, oh no, this is an actual thing, a condition, I started to think back on like all the times I could see colors hearing stuff. So it was crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So you were seeing colors as a kid, like 5.
Yeah.
Does the song come first or the songs come first then the color? Or do you find yourself gravitating to colors and then figuring out a song from there?
I feel like most times it's the song first. And then
Like, are you seeing the color while you're making it or?
sometimes I don't think I'm necessarily focusing on that or like consciously focusing on
Totally.
that. But then there's times when I'm thinking about what color do I want to evoke with this particular song? Like what key does this feel good in? So sometimes it does start with color, and what color I would like to see in my head.
Are you strategic about where you place vocals or do you just emotionally do a pass and where it falls, it falls?
I feel like I'm definitely strategic. I think I'm a lot less critical of myself. Now that I have some music under my belt. I think when I first started engineering or first started recording music or releasing music, I was engineering all of it myself. And so very much critical of like down to the down to the finest detail. And sometimes drove myself insane trying to get the perfect take. But I think I'm not a lot less critical per se. I think I just more focused on the soul and the feeling of something, and not so much worried about the perfectionism of something.
Yeah, the feeling it evokes.
Yeah, the feeling.
Interesting. How'd you find your way on a Kendrick Lamar song?
Terrace. That was Terrace Martin. He called me one day. This was 2014. He was like, yo, Kendrick needs a vocalist. Are you in town? I'm like, yeah, like drop the pin. Where's it at? So I pulled up and it was literally,
I was going to say not far from your house probably either.
Yeah. It wasn't a far drive. And it was literally Kendrick, his engineer, and that was it. And just walked in there and it, just what you would expect of Kendrick, just very cool, very just unassuming, just very down to earth. And they're like, yeah, so we just need you to sing If These Walls Could Talk a couple times over Thundercat's vocals. And I did that and that was it. All right, thank you. Thanks for coming.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Again, like, are you giving emotion to these vocals? Are you being concise with it? Are you letting them breathe? Like, what is...
I think because of what I was singing on that particular song, I think it was just more so about being concise, and just making sure I blended with what was already there.
Is that a part of like your skill? When you go in and you do something like that, or you lend your vocals to a jazz record, like, is it blending while also still standing on your own?
I think so. Yeah, just the importance of blending was really instilled when I sang in the vocal jazz group in my high school, and blending was the biggest thing. You know, it was let's see, I was in vocal jazz sophomore through senior year. It was usually like 10 to 12 of us, different parts. I was typically first soprano, alto, tenor, bass. And so having to blend with all these different, timbres and things. And that really, really trained me for once and then I ended up singing, I did backgrounds for Selena Gomez for most of 2013.
On tour? Or?
Yeah, tour and promo stuff. When the Stars Dance album came out, that was 2013. So I did backgrounds for her most of that year. And then I traveled doing backgrounds for Meghan Trainor in 2015.
Wait, by the way, this is an interesting world. Mm-hmm. Can you talk to a singer out there who may have such an ego that they won't ever do that for another artist?
Listen, whatever that is, you might have ego, any hangups, like put that aside. Being a background singer there's so much skill that goes into that. Because yes, you are background to the artist, obviously, but the blending, your voice, you have to be able to get in and fit into that world sonically. And that takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of professionalism. Yeah.
In most cases, the most professional, the highest trained vocalists on that stage are the backup singers.
Yes, facts.
And they're carrying the bass of those records.
Mm-hmm.
And you're allowing the artist to never be left.
Right.
You're doing many jobs at once, right?
Right. You're lifting the load so that the artist can feel comfortable and feel safe to do their thing.
Well, also emotionally contributing to the song in different areas where it's necessary. It's so fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Yeah, and then there's moments where in a live setting, they might pull you to the front to do a duet with them. I've seen it before. They'll pull you up to do ad-libs or something. Beyonce's done it. Christina Aguilera, there's so many different people who they respect that craft and they showcase, the background singers, more often than not. So put your ego aside and that's yeah.
In that moment, I do think to myself, because I've met these people, and in case I think to myself, then do you really even want to perform? Because if you really want us to perform, then your desire is just to be on stage, no matter the capacity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And to be on stage in that capacity is an honor.
Absolutely. And
it takes everybody on a tour stage doing exactly what they've been trained to do and worked all their life to do for it to go down without a hitch. And I got to say, each person on that stage has a huge responsibility because if one fucking person fucks up, you hear it,
right,
and everything is thrown off. Everything. God, it's one of the greatest gifts and skills.
Yeah, and there's a lot of time that goes into it, aside from the skill that you come with. You're in rehearsals, you're in production rehearsals. You might be recording some backup tracks to put alongside yourself when you're singing live behind the artist. So there's a lot that goes into that, a lot of technique and skill that goes into that.
Why did you need to do that? Because reality is you didn't. Breaking news, you come from musical heritage. You definitely have racks. You're fine, I guess, to a certain degree. But why did you need to do that?
I did need to do that. I think for my own particular journey, and I think it was just the experience and the training to be a part of that touring world. It equipped me for what I needed, for my tour, for when I travel and it's me. I already had 2+ years, almost 2 full years under my belt of touring and, the pack and working with a band and
by the way, that's 80 to 90 shows. That's more. 80 could be in a year. You probably could have done 120 shows in that time.
Yeah, too many to count. But I think also the traveling was it was my first time, in Europe, in London, and we went to Dubai with Selena, and so just an amazing experience.
It's really
with
cool.
with the both of them, really.
What is the process of getting on one of those tours? Do you have to sing them their own song?
So auditioning with the musical director, I think with Selena, with both of them, with both Selena and Meghan, was being put in a room and with 2-3 other potential singers, and just seeing how your voices sound together, them playing down a track and like, okay, figure out your part.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Not going to be told your part. Figure it out.
Yeah, if you're soprano and the other girl's alto,
Sort it.
figure it out. Yeah. So
Sick. But like,
Yeah.
but again, like, by the way, like, most pop stars would need to be told what part they're singing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it's a real craft and skill.
yeah.
Like, you have to be such a high caliber of a musician to get on the stage with these other musicians that like,
Yeah.
it's so cool.
Yeah. I think it was intimidating for me. I think the first tour with Selena, because that was my first real experience being on the road for an extended amount of time with this band and this other singer. And but yeah, I'm grateful for those experiences too.
And then being thrown into like like you can do like the touring concert well, but can you do like an acoustic set well? Can you do like a
Yeah.
3-song set pretty well?
Yeah.
Like, you have to be able to do everything.
Yeah, because we did acoustic with the both of them, and then there's acoustic appearances on off days on
I
the tour.
think we watched her perform
We
an
may have.
acoustic show with Selena Gomez.
Yeah, in New York once.
Maybe
I mean, if it's the years you said, 100%.
2000
13?
2013.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
for sure.
100%.
When we
Yeah.
went.
Yes. I've seen you.
Wow.
And I've seen you on the concert tour too. Very cool. I didn't know it was
The
you.
Stars Dance Tour.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
100%.
me.
That was the era.
Wow.
Very cool.
It feels like a lifetime ago.
Because it kind of was.
Yeah, it kind of was.
I don't want to be that guy that breaks the news to you. It definitely, because
Yeah.
it kind of was.
Yeah, pre my daughter, like pre everything. Yeah.
I mean, that's like so many years ago.
Yeah.
13 years ago, whatever it is.
I know.
Earlier in your career, when you were producing and engineering all your own music, why did you not rely on your dad and your uncle to help you out?
I think there were a couple factors. I think the fact that me being in LA, neither of them live in California anymore, and they are traveling most weeks out of the year. I think my journey was just necessary for me to just kind of find my own footing. But two, because at the time when I started creating everything, it kind of like transitioned into more of like DIY, and YouTube was becoming more of a thing. This is years ago. I think Twitter was brand new. YouTube was becoming more of a thing. This was years before TikTok and I think years before Instagram. But it was shifting into like figuring out how to organically grow a buzz kind of on your own. And so, yeah, it was just figuring out my own footing and how I go about doing that organically. So I was just creating, on GarageBand at first and then with Logic. And I thought about it. I didn't set foot in a professional like recording studio for my own stuff until like 2 years ago.
That's like, what was that, 10 plus years after your first project came out?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So just figuring it out. And I think just back to the power of collaboration and building a community and musicians and producers that have the same passion and hunger to get the music out.
Isn't it amazing that you were able to build that community not off of the aura of your family, but off of your own desire and talent and hustle and skill?
Yeah. Yeah. And I had to, I have to work just like any other artist. I think people make assumptions.
I think you have to work harder.
Yeah, yeah. And because of those assumptions, and it's natural, but, I've had to prove myself just like any other artist. I've had to, get my hands dirty like anybody else trying to, have a sustainable career. And I'm after longevity. That's the goal for me.
Timeless. Like, music really is forever when you do it right.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, again, is that pressure or the right sort of reminder? Because you look to your dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what I just said is very true for them. They have timeless records. Their music is forever.
Yeah.
Is that motivating or is that pressure to a point where it could be crippling?
I think it's, I mean, absolutely motivational more than anything, but I think the pressure, whatever that is, it's internal for me because as I've gotten older and just been more involved in creating, I've come to just understand the importance of what they have done and are still doing and the impact. And so honestly, I haven't really felt pressure on the outside. It's just been internal and just my awareness and what the legacy means to me and to be a part of that, what that means to me. Because I just want to carry that on for as long as I can.
Can we talk about Moses Sumney?
Yes, absolutely. I love Moses.
How'd you end up working with Moses? Make out in my car.
Moses and I went to UCLA together.
What?
I think he worked for the LA Weekly ages ago, and he did my first interview. He interviewed me for LA Weekly. And so yeah, we have been cool for a long time, and he reached out to me to do make out in my car, and it was just a vibe. I was like, yeah, I absolutely want to be a part of this. He's brilliant.
You reworked it, very vibey, very slow, a lot of strings.
Yeah.
Any
yeah.
parameters on that collaboration, or was it just kind of free flowing?
Yeah, free flowing, and he was just like, just let that open verse talk to you, and whatever you want to say, like, do your thing.
Let it talk to you.
Yeah.
What did it say?
Just the sensuality of that record was just oozing. I had to, you can't shy away from that. So just allowing yourself to just be bare in that moment.
Can you explain to me that record a little bit? Because he also brought in other people to rework it as well, James Blake and I don't want to butcher his name. Do you know how to say it?
Go for it.
Sufjan Stevens.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure how to say the first name either, but yeah.
Sufjan, I think.
Yeah.
I'm probably butchering it. But can you explain it to me? So he had like different artists to rework his record?
Yeah. Different takes, and they're all
That's cool as shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love when artists do things like that, have their own,
I love that.
Everybody had a different take.
By the way, you can listen to When. That is Alex's EP. It's waiting for you. It's on Amazon Music. Plus, all of our music is waiting there, too. Plus, that album, when it's out, it will be there. It will be there for your ears. You have mentioned the desire to work with your dad.
Yes. I technically have worked with him already. We remade one of my favorite Isley Brothers songs called Brown Eyed Girl. We kind of did that around Father's Day 2022.
Wow.
I believe that was, no, I'm sorry, 2023 we did that. And that was our first time getting something together on record. And yeah, it was just a really sweet moment to be able to do, that song is really near and dear to my heart. And so to do that with him and just kind of give it another life in our way, it really meant a lot. But so we talk about doing more, getting more on record for sure. So
An original or more cover? Reworks? We won't call them covers.
I think my mind goes more towards creating something original, but I'm open. I mean, I just always like to say I'm open. So but yeah, we've been talking about it for a while.
Open is the right mindset.
Yeah.
That When is waiting for you. Click the link below. What are you thinking over there, Dan?
Let's talk about the Instagram bio.
Yeah.
You finally met Stevie Wonder.
Oh my God.
Congratulations.
It's been a long time coming.
Oh my gosh. I was just talking about this because it's been 10 plus years of wanting to meet that man. And I had told everybody I could think of that was like Stevie adjacent. I had told everyone. And so, I mean, everybody knew. I told PJ Morton. I told Greg Fillinganes, who's worked with him. I've told like my friends who have sung backgrounds for him, like everybody. And there were so many failed attempts. At one point, I didn't think it was going to happen for me. I was like, well, maybe,
It's not meant to be.
I don't know. I never got to meet Michael. I never got to meet Prince. I was like, I don't know. But there was still a shred of optimism left there. And yeah, I met him on his birthday.
Whoa.
Of all days.
How'd you get in?
Special plug. I think just, God's timing and putting me in the right space at the right time. because I can't share too many details, but at least not yet. But it was just really surreal, and to have a conversation with him and to take pictures.
Yeah, like,
and
what'd you say?
I didn't say anything at first. I just let him talk because, he's Stevie, and just, hi, I'm just grateful to be here. Nice to meet you. And he just was telling me how much he loved my voice, and that was enough for me. That was more than enough for me, honestly.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Very special.
When you talk about like Prince and Michael Jackson, do you ever ask your family like stories about them? Because I'm sure they have incredible stories.
Yeah, I think early on, like the rest of the world, I was just enamored with Michael. He was superhuman to me. And my dad my dad was connected to him, and, over the years had interacted with him, and, he told me stories of meeting Michael in the 70s. And I think around the time I was like maybe 3 years old, there was something where it was supposed to happen. My dad was supposed to collaborate with Michael, and it just, for whatever reason, things went in another direction. But my dad had written a letter to Michael, had it delivered to him at a rehearsal or something, and mentioned something about like, oh, my daughter Alexandra loves you, and and my dad was told that when Michael read the letter, he read that part and just smiled about it and was just really happy to have the letter. So I was like, well, I never got to meet Michael, but him knowing that I existed was
connection there.
That's it.
that was enough for me. Yeah. So
That is wild.
yeah.
I mean, you have to have stories like that, though, where you just like organically and randomly just interact with some of the most incredible human beings that have paved this musical lane for you and millions of others.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I remember as a high school student mostly, like I remember meeting Beyoncé for the first time, and like having a phone call, having a conversation on the phone with Janet Jackson, like, because my dad was at a rehearsal and he was like, hey, I want to put somebody on the phone. Hello? And I'm like, oh my God, it's Janet Jackson. And she's so nice, and she wants me to come to the next rehearsal so we can hang out. Oh my gosh, she's so cool. So yeah, just a lot of encounters like that when I was growing up, and like all the celebrities that, I saw on Nickelodeon, they were right in front of me at some point. So
Well, when you were talking about Kendrick Lamar, I do know he sampled the Isley Brothers at one point.
yeah.
And do you have a favorite sample? Because I know Big Papa has an Isley Brothers sample. Today Was a
Right.
Good Day by Ice Cube has an Isley Brothers sample. Do you have a favorite one? Because there's like some iconic songs that sample that band.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I mean, they're all great. And I think I remember hearing Big Papa for the first time when I was little, and but then I love the Ice Cube sample. I love what Kendrick did with That Lady, and so I love them all
Yeah.
because I love all those records. I love all those records. So, and when people ask me what's your favorite Isley Brothers song, it's like impossible for me to answer.
Of course.
It's probably, I mean, every few months the answer's different. So,
What's it today?
what is it today? Probably either like, this is a more obscure one, probably Climbing Up the Ladder, or like Groove With You or something. So yeah, it's always different.
Do you know why they were successful?
Aside from God ordained, I don't know. I think love. I think that their love for what they do, because they really, really love what they do. My uncle is just turned 84. My dad is 72.
And they still do it.
And they still do it. And it's like just flipping a switch on, and they just, they move a little slower now. And, but seeing them on stage, it's just like they flip a switch, and it's just like, yeah, they're just timeless performers. So I think it's the love for what they do. And out of that comes their dedication, their hard work.
Do you think they were born to do what they do?
Absolutely. And I think from what my dad has told me, I believe his parents, they dreamed of their children having forming a band. I think that was their dream for their sons, because they had 6 boys, for them to form a band. So they're living out their parents' dreams. They're living out their dreams. So they were absolutely made to do this.
Like a manifestation almost there.
Mm-hmm.
In knowing that your dad was born to do this, do you believe you were born to do what you do?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think just again, going back to my journey, I think it just specific to me, and I didn't rely on them, but I think it was just how I had to, navigate through my own career. And in a lot of ways, I'm just getting started. So but I absolutely believe I was born to do this.
Well, you're on this journey. We're always around. So keep coming back on the show.
Thank you.
When is the EP album on the way? All of Alex's music is just waiting for you. Okay. Amazon Music, link below.
My last question is it Miss Goody Two Shoes? That's when you say shit on there. You curse on that song.
Yeah. I'm not like, I try not to cuss, like, just in general. So that's like,
you dropped a little one in there. I noticed that.
Like, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, just, just a little warning. I'm cussing on this record a little bit. Just sorry, Mom.
Why'd that song need it? Just feel natural when you were recording?
Yeah. I needed it.
Yeah.
I needed to say, talk my shit.
Yeah.
Thank you for talking your shit.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time and energy today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very special.
Thank you.
Really. Alex Isley, everybody. Go listen to When. Links below. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, man. Thank you.